What's going on, guys? Stevie from the Minimasters here, and today we're going to do some more work with some tube steel. So if you watched my first Noob at Tube episode, you probably saw me make a couple bends in some tube steel, weld it all together, and I had like a hoop thing going. I may have mentioned that I'm working on a headache rack for a utility body truck for our company. Well, here it is thus far. Okay, so general idea is it's going to sit on the utility body like so, and then of course the back will have some expanded sheet, which if you don't know what that is, that's that grid material right there. Okay, but the next part I have to do is the piece that goes along the bottom here. Okay, now with square tube steel and flat stock and angle iron, all that other jazz, you just cut it straight, butt weld it, done. It's the simplest thing on the face of the earth. Well, with round tube steel, it's a little different. So obviously, if you were to cut flat here, it wouldn't reach all the way around the tube. It would just be flat, okay? So we got like a slight problem here. See, it doesn't quite go all the way around. Now you could weld that, but you're not really supposed to. It's not considered very strong, okay? So what they tell you to do is to curve a cut out of it that will fit around the pipe, and that's called coping, okay? Or bird's mouthing and all that stuff. So that's actually what I'm going to do. Now you can buy these fancy little things that you strap to your work table, and it's a hole saw bit, and you will cut that cope in there. But I have an even simpler solution. So here we go. Okay, so I've taken the liberty of cutting the piece to length. Now, like I said, what would happen differently with square tube steel is you'd measure inside to inside. Now with round tube, you're gonna go a little farther. So I did roughly halfway through the diameter of the pipe on either side. That way you have enough to kind of reach around the pipe and hug it. And as you can see, it's a nice even length here. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this piece, we're gonna put it up on my little table here, and have my angle grinder, okay, because you know I'm super budget. And essentially what you're gonna do is you're just going to angle notch this way, angle notch that way. Okay, it's crude, it's not perfect, but it'll get the job done every single time. And if you want, you can touch it up with a flap disc or grinding pad or something like that. So in my case, I have a nice little flap disc there. So anyway, I'm going to cut my angle pieces like this, and I'll come back. Okay, so here we are. As you can see, I have a nice little cope there. Not bad, you know, it's not perfectly round or anything like that, but it'll certainly do the job. So the trick here to making it that perfect is I do a slice like this. I jab the thing in straight, and that gives my notch there, top and bottom. And then you just line up, boom, and boom, boom. So anyway, so here is how it fits. Not bad for not having a coper. Now, as you can see, it doesn't quite come down the sides, but at least you're not filling that much weld in, okay? So it's a very easy, you know, DIY on a budget way of doing this, okay? Now, like I said, you can take the flap disc and you can work on a little bit and round it out and really like do a nice number on it, and then, you know, you can fit it in and weld it. So that's actually what I'm going to do next. We're going to get this thing in there because, you know, it may need a little, you know, touch-up grinding, and weld it in place, and I'll bring you back. Here we are, guys. Here is one of my finished copes using only an angle grinder. And as you can see, that's pretty damn good if I do say so myself. And, well, proof's in the pudding. How about that? That's pretty good, again. And so, granted, this looks nothing like the whole angle cut this way, angle cut that way that you'd normally get from using one of these grinding wheels or one of these cutting wheels. But here's the trick. So, like I said, we cut this thing long, and so I'm going to insert this thing here. Okay, so you can see it fits really well. Now, once I got it to just fitting and it was actually pushing the ends apart, and I had to keep this very precise, okay? So I couldn't even go an 1/8 or 16th over, or this thing won't fit the truck. So it pushed it out probably a good 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch as I worked it in. And what I did is I took the Sharpie marker, and went like this, and I traced a perfect cope out on the metal. And then what I did is I would remove the piece, and then I just came along with angle grinder and I just cut that line. And of course not at this angle. Some angles work better. So this inside cope, it works better like this, and then the outside copes, the angle works like that. So you just trace it all the way around, and boom, I had this perfect cut. And then with a little flap disc, get it all cleaned up and ready for welding, and that's it. So as you can see, guys, sometimes you don't always need the big expensive tools. You can actually just do what you want to do at home with some cheap ones. So in this case, you know, I think I bought this Hitachi angle grinder for like 40 bucks. And you don't have to buy Hitachi, there's no specific brand. Buy whatever suits your needs, what's at your store, and put it to some use. Just a few cut wheels, a couple grinding discs, and a flap disc, and you'll be making all kinds of cool stuff. So anyway, guys, that's all for me. Hit the subscribe icon over here. Check out some of my other videos. I'm Stevie from the Minute Masters. Thanks for watching.